Rise and shine, and welcome to a new solo episode of the ASOM experience. Today we are episode 39, and thank you once again for connecting. Whether you're walking your dog, at the gym, running, cooking, anything you're doing, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to these episodes, whether it's a solo or an interview. I'm happy to be sharing with you once again a new topic around self care, self help. So, wherever you're connecting from, make sure to leave a comment, subscribe, or just share. And I would love to hear from you directly and see what you think about the podcast. In our last episode, 37, our last solo episode, we've shared around gratitude, and I'm very curious to see how have you set up your gratitude practice. What have you done since? Are you doing this on a regular basis or not? Today is quite a different topic. Today, we've gone through the 7 tips on how to have a better, happier, more productive year. Today is a sensitive question. And I want to ask you, with everything that's happening in the world, with the uncertainty, with the fear, with the war, with the COVID and sicknesses, do you feel like giving up? Do you feel like stopping? Do you feel like letting go? Your life, your commitments, your responsibilities, your relationships. Um, if you said yes, you are not alone. And I want to tell you this because I've been through this many times and I still go through it and I still find the way to overcome that feeling of giving up. So I totally know that there is a big question between, is it right or wrong? Is it good or bad to give up? This episode is not to tell you whether it's right or wrong, depending on the situation, depending on the circumstances, depending on the context. Sometimes, yes, giving up and letting go of a toxic situation or relationship is necessary. Other times, letting go or giving up on responsibilities and on commitments can be way more painful. So just to let you know that the purpose of this episode is not to tell you just not to give up. The purpose here is tell you what are some of the potential consequences of giving up depending on your particular situation, and what is one of the ways that has been proven by myself and many others that will allow you to hold on and not give up. So, I will share with you some of the potential consequences, first of all, to see if you relate to some of them. And I'll maybe go a little bit deeper on each of these consequences. So, the first is giving up will not create that experience of accomplishment. You will not feel accomplished once you have given up because you have had a certain goal that is clear, sort of, in a way or another. You've created that goal, whether it's doable or not, whether it's achievable or not. But then that feeling of accomplishment, you will never feel that if you gave up. And sometimes it can be devastating, but sometimes it can also be life saving to let go of that expectation of yourself and to give yourself a break, maybe, and change plans or change strategy. Okay. Number two is the feeling of helplessness. You would kind of feel helpless when you give up. You would feel like you're not able to you're not able to help or be helped. Number three, a lack of learning experiences. You'll feel that you haven't learned anything because you've given up on that entire experience or process. Hopelessness. You would feel hopeless. Lack of self-esteem. That's a big one. Self-esteem is it's on top of the hierarchy, Maslow hierarchy of needs. Lost educational and professional opportunities. Absolutely. When you see someone who has given up or failed, then of course opportunities are given to those who earn and who deserve it the most. Some also end up into depression, anxiety, and stress depending on the amplitude of the experience itself. So I've gone through some of the potential consequences. Once again, I'm not saying that those are the only or the consequences that you will go through. But what I'm trying to share here is letting you know that you may experience some of those. Those might be some of the symptoms that you are actually living currently. And you may be wondering why. And the answer is this could be related to sort of that feeling of wanting to give up. Also, once again, with all the uncertainty, challenges, and fear in the world right now, the chances of giving up are much higher than ever. Okay? So, I've given you the problem, I've stated the problem and the symptoms. Right now, we're going to discuss the solution. The solution is, for me, simple. It's simple. It has to be simple. The more you complicate it, the less you're going to make it actually happen. When we're talking about giving up, we're talking, first of all, about a goal. And in our lives, we have many goals. We have yearly goals, we have monthly goals, weekly goals, daily goals, hourly goals, and sometimes we have lifetime goals. But remember, why are you creating or setting these goals? These goals are being set to allow you to live a certain vision of yours. So remember, what's bigger than the goal itself is the vision that you have. And for me, the goal has been just one brick at a time. The vision has been the wall itself, or the castle, or the empire, or whatever. But I'm just giving you this metaphor to let you know that goals are the building blocks. But then the vision is the big picture. So when we have a big vision, or when we have a vision itself that is basically bigger than us, usually that's the case, we are going to try, and we are going to fail, and we are going to learn, and we are going to go through hard times and challenges and uncertainty and fear, where we are actually sometimes going to give up. And right here, once again, I remind you that the question is not whether to give up or not. The question is how to overcome giving up and basically find a way to continue moving forward to reach your vision, to live your vision. For you to do that, you will need to adjust. You will need to adjust your plan. You will need to forgive yourself because you have given up. You would need to give yourself a break. You would need to take some time off. But once again, what's more important than that, keep your eye on your vision. And then, if you believe enough in that final big picture, that final vision, giving up will not block you and stop you from getting there. So it's up to you to assess what are the consequences of giving up. Are you giving up on something toxic or something actually positive that is an opportunity for you to grow? And then, based on your decision, make sure that you are heading always in the direction towards your bigger vision. And this is truly important for you and for me to keep going forward. And I had endless times where I felt like giving up. It felt hard, it felt uncertain. I've tried over and over again. And one of the times I truly remember was still being a student in 2012. I was doing my master's in France, and I knew I had a very limited time before my student year finishes. And I had a decision to make. Either I would have a plan after my master's, or I would have to go back home and go back to my previous life. And I knew this was a challenge that I had to take and that I had to win. So instead of going, partying, enjoying, drinking, all of that, and I have nothing against that, but I knew that the consequences were going to be bigger. So I sat and I applied over and over and over and over again. I have had over hundreds of rejections, hundreds of emails of rejections. I remember the first ones were so hurting, were so frustrating until they became just another simple no thank you, no thank you, no thank you. And with time, I made it. And today I understood that know when to give up, why to give up, and how to give up. Okay? I hope this was clear. I hope you are not going to give up, at least on your dreams. And I hope this episode was useful and helpful. And thank you again for taking the time. I wish you an amazing day or night wherever you are. Make sure to tune in again in 2 weeks from now and take care of yourself.